This year I set out to listen to the Beatles for the first time to see if they were worth the hype, and well, they're pretty goated. Safe to say I'm part of the apple core now. In my opinion, Abbey Road was their objective best album, so I did what any Beatles fan does, and I started nerding out about it and doing research. What I found was fascinating. We could have gotten an entirely different album if certain decisions were made. I'm Bloom, and today we're going to talk about Abbey Road, the album we almost got. Starting with the name. For being one of the most famous bands in the world, they were rather lackadaisical with choosing album names, and most things in general. Somebody's already named their album A Doll's House. Just call it The Beatles. I thought you said Sgt. Pepper, not Salt and Pepper. What does an album do? It revolves. Name a revolver then. This approach will continue in '69 with their latest album, and the band couldn't decide what to name it. Until finally, the band observed what brand of cigarettes engineer Jeff Emmerich smoked, and it was settled that they were going to go with Everest. Was this foreshadowing for the band at their pinnacle? Peak Beatles? The final chapter? Them finally reaching the mountaintop before disbanding? Well, they were going to fly to Nepal and do a whole photo shoot of them doing something in the Himalayas, maybe in another timeline. But in ours though, Paul McCartney, let him tell it, couldn't be bothered, and infamously the decision was made to name it after where they record, Abbey Road. In our fictional world, we're calling it Everest. Here's my artist's interpretation of what it would have looked like. As far as songs go, George Harrison's Something had some changes too. It wasn't going to have the guitar solo, just an orchestra. To me, the guitar adds an emotional element, like the notes are coming from Harrison's soul. Without it, the song is just missing that X factor. Not the first song to be dramatically improved by Harrison's playing. The only difference with Maxwell's Silver Hammer is that it could have been any one of the hundreds of takes recorded. Next up, Oh Darling was going to be called Oh Darling, I'll Never Do You No Harm. But perhaps the biggest change of the album is between side 1 and side 2. As is, we have the first side with songs like Octopus's Garden and Oh Darling, while the second features the famous medley. Well, surprisingly, the album was going to open with the medley. That's right. Instead of Come Together opening, we're going to start with Here Comes the Sun, Because, You Never Give Me Your Money, etc. I think we could all agree that the juxtaposition from the smash cut of the dark I Want You She's So Heavy to the hopeful Here Comes the Sun was the better choice. The roller coaster ride of songs transitioning into each other makes for a more electric listening experience. Speaking of Here Comes the Sun, it originally had a guitar solo. It would play during the sun, sun, sun part. Also, crazily enough, during the stereo mixing of the song, it was mixed at 51 cycles instead of 50. All that means is that it raised the song's pitch by a quarter note and made it slightly shorter. Take 9 on Abbey Road Super Deluxe features the song in its original key and speed. That means the song we get on the finished album is actually slightly higher pitched than what it was originally recorded. Here's what the guitar solo would have sounded like had it been left on. But speaking of sons, John Lennon's Sun King was originally going to be called Here Comes the Sun King. The title was changed due to sounding too close to Here Comes the Sun, which would have been a little confusing for listeners. The end also featured guitar overdubs during Ringo's drum solo, which would have been distracting, so they were omitted. But speaking of omitted, we have the hidden track Her Majesty. It was actually supposed to go between Polythene Pam and Mean Mr. Mustard. This is why it opens with the explosive guitar chord into the relatively tame Her Majesty. In my opinion, including it doesn't fit between those tracks and breaks the flow of the songs in the long one. In fact, Paul McCartney thought the same thing, so it was removed to be discarded. As some of you know, the staff was told to never throw out any Beatles songs because Anthology 3 is going to come out in 27 years. So it was added on at the end to the band's surprise, but Paul liked it there, so the rest is history. So in conclusion, our new album is titled Everest, and our new track list has its open side A with Here Comes the Sun, into Because, You Never Give Me Your Money, Here Comes the Sun King, Mean Mr. Mustard, Her Majesty, Polythene Pam, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, Golden Slumber, Carry That Weight, the end. And side B has us close with Come Together, Something, Maxwell's Silver Hammer, Oh Darling, You Never Do Me No Harm, Octopus's Garden, I Want You She's So Heavy. This was just a fun exercise in theorizing what could have been. From an artistic perspective, it's interesting to see how such haphazard decisions wound up being so iconic all these years later. I don't think this album would have been revered as much with this new reorder track list. Like I said earlier, you have your good songs and your strong closer with I Want You on side 1, then flip to the joyous Here Comes the Sun and seamless transition of songs in a medley. It makes for a great listening experience that I don't know finishes as strongly reordered, but maybe you think otherwise. If you made it this far, comment your favorite track off the album, and as a matter of fact, off any Beatles album. I've been Bloom, deuces.